Sirens and mermaids are often mixed up or seen as the same in popular culture, but they actually come from different myths and have their own unique traits. While both are linked to the sea and share a mysterious allure, they have distinct stories and characteristics. In this video, we'll explore 5 key differences between sirens and mermaids, backed by interesting examples and tales from folklore. Plus, I'll share an extra theory at the end of the video that might offer a new perspective on where these fascinating creatures really came from. Sirens, according to Greek mythology, are depicted as creatures with the body of a bird and the head of a woman. They were known for their enchanting voices, which they used to lure sailors to their deaths. This avian aspect highlights their connection to the air, where their voices could carry over vast seas. One of the most famous stories involving sirens is from Homer's Odyssey. Odysseus, aware of the siren's deadly song, orders his men to plug their ears with beeswax to avoid being seduced. He, however, wishes to hear the song and has himself tied to the mast of the ship, instructing his men not to release him no matter how much he begs. The strategy works, and they sail past the sirens unscathed. Mermaids, on the other hand, come from various folklore traditions, including European, African, and Asian myths. They are typically portrayed as half-woman, half-fish beings who live in the sea. Their stories vary widely, depicting them as either good or evil. A well-known story involving a mermaid is Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. In this tale, a young mermaid sacrifices her voice to a sea witch in exchange for legs, hoping to win the love of a human prince. The story ends tragically, highlighting the themes of sacrifice and unrequited love. This tale has since been adapted into numerous films and books, though often with a happier ending. In 1493, Christopher Columbus reported seeing mermaids while exploring the Caribbean. Columbus wrote in his log that he saw 3 mermaids who came quite high out of the water, but he noted that they are not so beautiful as they are said to be, for their faces had some masculine traits. It's widely believed that what Columbus actually saw were manatees, large marine mammals often mistaken for mermaids by sailors unfamiliar with them. A more recent real-life encounter occurred in 2012, when workers at the Gokwe and Osborne Dams in Zimbabwe reportedly refused to continue working after encountering what they said were mermaids. The workers claimed that the mermaids were harassing them, disrupting construction, and causing accidents. The government took the report seriously, with traditional rituals being performed to appease the spirits believed to inhabit the waters, after which the construction was finished without further interruptions. Sirens are generally evil. Their primary goal was to lure sailors with their singing, leading them to crash their ships on rocky shores, where they would perish. Unlike mermaids, sirens are not interested in interacting with humans, but rather in bringing about their demise. A popular tale is that of the Argonauts, led by Jason on their quest for the Golden Fleece, who encountered the deadly sirens, whose enchanting songs lured sailors to their doom. As they neared the Sirens' Island, the heroes were nearly overcome by the irresistible music of the sirens. However, Orpheus, the legendary musician among the crew, played his lyre with such beauty and power that it drowned out the sirens' voices, allowing the Argonauts to sail safely past the danger. Mermaids' intentions vary greatly depending on the cultural context. In some tales, they are good, helping sailors and granting wishes, while in others, they can be dangerous, dragging men to their deaths or bringing storms. In West African mythology, mermaids are known as Mami Wata, translating to Mother Water. They are described as powerful water spirits characterized by an irresistible beauty. They are seen as both nurturing and vengeful, capable of granting wealth and power to those who honor them or bringing misfortune to those who disrespect them. Sirens are traditionally associated with rocky coastlines and islands. They are often depicted as living on remote islands, where they would sing to passing ships, using their surroundings to trap and kill sailors. On the other hand, mermaids are typically associated with the open ocean, seas, or sometimes rivers and lakes. They are often depicted as living in underwater kingdoms or coral palaces. Their habitat is the water itself, and they are usually shown swimming at great speeds or lounging on rocks near the shore. In Irish folklore, mermaids are known as merrows. They are said to live in the deep sea but occasionally come ashore, wearing a magical cap known as a Coholian druith that allows them to dive beneath the waves. If this cap is stolen, the merrow cannot return to the sea. Mermaids often symbolize mystery, beauty, and the unknown depths of the sea. They represent duality, the combination of human and animalistic traits, or the spiritual and physical worlds. The mermaid in folklore might represent a guide to hidden treasures of the sea, such as in the Breton legend of the Corrigans, who are said to reveal the location of sunken treasure to those who treat them with respect. Sirens symbolize temptation, danger, and the destructive power of seduction. They are warnings against giving in to temptation and straying off course. In Christian allegory, the siren became a symbol of the temptations of the flesh, often depicted in medieval art as a warning to those who might be led astray by the allure of worldly pleasures. In many cultures, mermaids are seen as protectors of the sea, and their stories often revolve around themes of love, tragedy, and the desire for human connection. In the Japanese Ningyo legends, mermaids are believed to bring either fortune or disaster. The Japanese word Ningyo, Renyu, translates to human fish and refers to a creature from Japanese folklore akin to the Western mermaid. One of the most famous aspects of Ningyo lore is the belief that consuming the flesh of a Ningyo grants immortality or extraordinary longevity. This idea is most famously explored in the story of Yao Bikuni, Babai Bichuni, a Buddhist nun who, according to legend, ate the flesh of a Ningyo and lived for 800 years. However, in many versions of the tale, the gift of immortality is portrayed as a curse, leading to a life of loneliness and isolation. Sirens, in contrast, embody the duality of temptation and destruction in Greek perception. They represent the perils of being seduced by beauty and charm, only to face ruin. This portrayal reflects Greek values of wisdom and caution against the dangers of unchecked desires. In modern media, sirens are often portrayed as symbols of fatal attraction, where beauty conceals a deadly threat. For instance, in Margaret Atwood's poem Siren Song, the speaker, a siren, reveals the monotony and despair behind her seemingly enchanting song, yet acknowledges its irresistible allure, reflecting the perilous allure of temptation. Now, could you remember that other perspective I promised to share? Here it is. In the apocryphal Book of Enoch, sirens are described as the cursed wives of fallen angels, doomed by God after their forbidden unions. These beings were condemned to haunt the coasts, eternally singing their deadly songs to lure the unsuspecting. There is also a belief that sirens and mermaids are remnants of hybrid abominations, resulting from fallen angels, crossbreeding birds with humans to create sirens, and fish with humans to create mermaids. These creatures, born from unnatural unions, continue to captivate our imaginations. If you're intrigued by this concept, check out my video on hybrids created by fallen angels. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.